So it's been about a month since I last posted, and let me tell you the reason for that. So about a month ago, I was on my way to pick up my family that were coming home from holiday. So I went off to Manchester Airport, picked them up, and around the time when we were on the motorway, I heard this like ticking sound coming from like the engine. So yeah, already knew that wasn't good. Luckily, we made it all the way back home without any problems, and then I sent my car to a bunch of mechanics and they all said the same thing: gearbox problem. So I had to find a gearbox, and I was told to replace the clutch. Got a new clutch, got a used gearbox, thought everything was sorted out. Went all the way back to Manchester, and a week later the exact same thing happened. So I had that sinking feeling in my stomach where you fucked up. But after that, I pretty much had to make it all the way back home from Manchester, which was like a 50-mile trip. And I did manage to get most of the way, and on the final legs of the journey, it was just like an absolute trial to get home. But the car was stalling in traffic, and yeah, I did manage to get to my mechanic though. And yeah, pretty much the exact same process. I was thinking, I'm gonna have to replace the gearbox again, so I leave it at the mechanics and just start looking for another gearbox. Luckily, a couple days after, mechanic phones me and pretty much says, it's not your gearbox, it's your water pump and your timing belt. I was actually relieved at that point, since it meant I didn't have to try screwing around with gearboxes and all that, and just returning everything would have been a pain. So get the water pump and timing belt installed, and after that everything seems to pretty much work. Was lucky that my uncle was able to introduce me to his mechanic. Otherwise I probably would have, the cost would have probably been a lot worse. Short story, I'm down around 700 quid. Pros are that got a newer gearbox, completely new LUK clutch, new timing belt and a water pump. And I'm pretty happy with that, all things considered. The gearbox also is a lot better than the older one. It's a lot quieter, and I just like the way it pulls a bit better. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So just a really quick update on what's happened, and a quick mod this week. We tried to paint correct this and the other defect on that side. This side didn't turn out too well. That side, however, I think that turned out pretty decent, all things considered. And I'd say I'm a lot more confident on fixing scratch marks now. But yeah, I think I'd be able to do that in the future as long as we get a polisher. And the only other thing that we did was replace that rear reflector light, since that was smashed. And that's about it. And now there's the mod for this week. It's a shark fin antenna. This is just the old antenna. You can pretty much get it off just by unscrewing it and yanking on it. It's really kind of nasty. There's some mold or something growing on it. I don't know. These are just really cheap to buy off Amazon. You can get them for 10-20 quid easy, and all you have to do is just screw them on. So we'll do that now. So yeah, pretty much done. Just screw it in directly and voila. Most likely you'll also get some adhesive that they'll give you, but you just gotta stick on the bottom like that and just peel the adhesive bits off and then stick it down, and after that you should be done. So I'm just gonna stick mine down straight now, get the measurements right, and then you can see the finished thing. But yeah, that's pretty much it, and I think that's looking a lot better. Pretty much replaced the crustiest part of the car right there. But yeah, that's real nice. And I think one of the tips was, when doing this, you're meant to keep the antenna that you've replaced. Most people would, but mine's just like really bad, so I'm gonna throw mine away, and if anything ever happens with this one, I can always just buy another antenna. But yeah, next week probably try ceramic coating this. But that's it for this one.